There we go. We got the recording going. Now we're going to start the streaming. And when we see the green light down there, Kris Barney, we know that we have an audience, but it's not green. And I am recording it, though, so we're going to save it for later. We're going to continue and do what we do. Let me turn myself down, get the feedback out of the way. Kris Barney in town with D.A.R.T, the Domestic Abuse Resistance Team. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great.
All right. You're sitting here at Bike Smith front window, and before we met last year, part of the D.A.R.T celebration of the lives of those who were cut down by domestic violence, and we're here to plan this year how we're going to do that. But before we even get into that and show the audience about some of how that's going to work and be open for input as well, what we're trying to do is do the most good in an effective, efficient, and expedient way. So you can help us. Feedback always welcome. Tell us about your life since the last time you and I spoke. You have a greater opportunity, and we, the community, are going to be the better off for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I currently started 2 weeks ago. Well, this is my second week at D.A.R.T. They called and asked me if I'd like to be one of their community advocates. I'm working closely with terriequeen.autrey, who is one of my favorites. And I pleasantly accepted. I will be doing speaking engagements, radio shows, obviously, planning trainings, speaking to businesses and organizations, and planning fundraisers, and participating in all kinds of activities because I love being in the community.
Sure enough. Matter of fact, we want to set this up front. D.A.R.T not only serves Lincoln Parish, but you serve a greater region than that. And by the way, unfortunately, this problem, this issue, if I can be so benign, it's way worse than calling it just an issue. But it's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. So, folks, let me first of all throw the number out. If folks will have any questions, or if this is the day for you to plan your escape and get out with your children, D.A.R.T stands prepared, ready, and equipped. There are success stories. 888-411-1333, 888-411-1333. Talk about D.A.R.T and the region. I think it goes far down as Winfield and other areas as well.
Yeah. Well, our D.A.R.T stands for Domestic Abuse Resistance Team, and we service several parishes in our area. We have, counseling for women. We have Miss Wanda James, who does the legal assistance, protective orders, goes to court with our victims. We have children's advocacy, children's counseling, and children's group. We have an amazing shelter that houses the women and children who need our services.
Sure.
We do all kinds of wonderful things for our women and children, and men as well, because men are also victims of domestic violence.
Her name is Kris Barney, and one of the things I used to say, Kris, is we want to put you out of work, which means we're back into a utopia, a Garden of Eden, where this issue is no longer an issue. Knowing that that's not going to happen in the not too distant future, we want to put you to work. So by putting you to work, meaning what? You are willing to go anywhere, any place, anytime to talk to anyone about this issue, from schools on up to churches.
Yep, absolutely. Churches, schools, businesses, even hair salons. I know that I'm going to be organizing a training for people who run their spas, so that, because a lot of ladies who do hair can pick up on clues as to if someone's in an abusive relationship. But I will go anywhere. I actually share some of my own personal story of domestic violence and the murder of my 3-year-old daughter, Miranda, and how I came to be a domestic violence advocate.
All right, now that may have just gone by real quick, and please, if you care to share that story again, because what is it? I've heard nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care, and you don't know how I feel until they know, oh yes, you do know how I feel because you felt this way.
Yes, absolutely. I do know how you feel because I have been there. I have lived the horror of having my little girl, she was 3, taken from me and murdered by my ex-husband, who was a Bossier City firefighter. We were married for 3 years. We had Miranda, and he also killed another woman during that time. And so I identify with victims of domestic violence and domestic homicide. I lived it for several years, because also it took me several years to get away and to get where I am today. So,
well, tell the audience too. We're sitting here in the Bikesmith front window on the corner of Alabama and Trenton. Miranda was 3 years old. If people were go to, does Miranda have a website? She does.
She does. Yes.
What is it?
It's well, it's not a website. It's Miranda Faith Memorial page on Facebook.
Okay, and what's the symbol there?
The butterfly.
What just flew by here right before we decided?
We sat here and watched two beautiful yellow butterflies dancing right here in front of us in the window, just playing and dancing and fluttering, and then off they went.
Okay, so we know we're supposed to be doing what we're doing. This is Kris Barney. I'm Rick Godley. If you would help us help more, you know what to do with the message. Push it forward. And also, the resources are on a line as well in case you want to volunteer, make a donation. You're coming off a successful radiothon with KRLQ.
Yes.
Was that your first experience in that? And talk about the encouragement. See, yeah, this is a serious, somber, sobering, deadly serious issue, but at the same time, there's joy in this journey, and not to take away from the issue itself. But you saw some community coming together pretty solid.
I did. Well, I was so impressed. Yes, this was my first. They just threw me in and said, "You're going to work the radiothon, yay!" And I could not believe. I was overwhelmed with how the community came together and gave. They gave to our program because the money that we raised goes to help women and children that desperately need services, food, clothing, safe places to stay. Because for a while, no one was staying in the shelter. We had to get hotel rooms and place these people in safe places. So every amount, every penny just counts, and it meant so much to us. And we did go above and beyond.
And by the way, that was last Thursday, and that was at Super One.
Yes.
The D.A.R.T Radiothon was also the same time that Carl Malone Toyota of Ruston, the jambalaya plates that sold. I think they sold a record number of those.
Yeah.
So
it was, and it was delicious. I ordered a whole pan for my family. So we were very, very thankful for that in Carl Malone.
We are talking with Kris Barney, and this is Life on the Streets, as the Louisiana Center for the Blind is a resource here in our community as well, helping people navigate their way through life as they learn the ways of Ruston. So this is kind of a neat.
Oh, this is a
neat venue, location.
It is.
All right. So what we're here for? Let's talk. You have October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and so you are part of the planning process. Open to ideas, well, terriequeen.autrey and everybody at D.A.R.T, a whole month-long events, and one of them is to do what we did last year, which is to honor those domestic violence victims in song stories and the proverbial what if. That's just one segment. What else do you have on the docket that you're looking at planning for October?
Well, we have lots of fun things. We have Dairy Queen Day, October 6th. If you go by Dairy Queen and purchase a Blizzard, every Blizzard purchased $1 goes to D.A.R.T. So that's really fun.
Right.
We have Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. I think that is the 23rd.
No worries. This is all part of planning. Sure.
Oh, yeah. So, and that's going to be really fun at Lincoln Park. You can bring your dogs, bring your children, bring your tutus, whatever you want to do. We have some other things planned. I don't have specific dates.
I don't have a tutu, and I don't want a tutu.
I'll bring you a tutu. Yeah, so, and then the 26th is our candlelight vigil.
Right.
And we will have the silhouettes representing the homicide victims, and we will say their names. And it is a somber event, but we have to continue to remember the victims that have been killed as a result of domestic violence.
Now the silhouettes also, because of the region that you serve, they're going to be in Jackson Parish and other parishes as well, but the final week is going to be here in Lincoln Parish, and that's when the vigil will be held. Are we planning for it outdoors? Last year I know the COVID cacophony put a cramp in it, but that also, we all learned and grew from there by doing the radio salutes of life. So we're going to do it all again this year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we're planning for. What else? Anything else I'm missing out here? So you're experiencing this as we're going live. What else? Anything else?
Let's see. We got the Walk-A-Mile. We got Purple. October 1st kicks off Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and that'll be Purple Ribbon Week. You can wear anything purple, or you can get a purple ribbon from us. We have ribbons that we will be passing out as well.
Right.
Bookmarks also. We've got some bookmarks going out with some domestic violence information on them. Let's see. We got all kinds of things planned, but right now we're trying to make it all come together and flow.
So Kris and I, we're gonna kill the stream here and then plan out what we're gonna plan out, but at the same time keep her in mind as a resource, anywhere, anyplace, anytime. We're talking churches, we're talking youth groups, we're talking junior high school.
Junior highs, high schools, any organization that wants to be educated on domestic violence and dating violence, because that coincides. I've got stories, I have got education, so I'm willing to speak to anybody's organization that needs me.
And by education, correct me if I'm wrong, you always have that liberty. This is solutions in case you find yourself in a situation, because Kris, I dare say, the person that finds themselves in this situation thinks they're the only one that's ever been in this situation, and no one knows. That's not true.
That is not true, actually. You would be surprised who is experiencing certain levels of domestic violence. And domestic violence, I want to reiterate this, is not just physical violence. Physical violence is the main, it is obvious. But you have mental and emotional abuse. You have financial abuse, you have sexual abuse within marriage as well. There's all kinds of different aspects of domestic violence, and sometimes people don't realize they are in a domestic violence situation or relationship.
Sure enough. Okay, all right. Let's stop this now, man. This is it's a heavy subject for sure, but the upside is people are willing to get involved to help someone else out. And so let's get a hold of Kris Barney, terriequeen.autrey, D.A.R.T, the office, and make a difference as we will do this. Any other closing thoughts here this morning?
Just that I hope to see everyone out in the community and participating in Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and be looking for us. We will all be wearing purple.
All right. Kris Barney here on Rix-Mix Community Radio. Listen 24/7. Online, godlyworks.com, brought to you by CenturyNext Bank for all that you do. What's next for you, your bank, your family, your community. Online, cnext.bank. Also by Courtesy Chrysler Dodge Jeep. This is Adventure Days at Courtesy Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Also brought to you by Staple Sandwich Company, Grown and Graze, the Herd Food Truck Park. Have you eaten at the food truck park
No,
yet?
I haven't. Not yet.
You have treats in store for you coming up, and I guarantee. So yeah, you're welcome to Ruston, man. This is a great place to be, and one of the things I like here about Kris is it's unique. Yeah, we have issues. There's no doubt we have issues. I mean, that's why you're here. But I'm willing to walk and talk about them, and I find more people are willing to walk and talk about it and not buying this divide vibe diatribe where you get polarized. Are you picking that vibe up as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Should.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, thank you.